One of the big things to hit the news recently with the housing market is the idea that our administration here in the United States is potentially looking at the fact that there could be a 50-year mortgage note. And people have all kinds of opinions on it, whether good, bad, whether we should do it, whether we shouldn't do it, will actually solve the crisis or not. I don't want to get too deep into that. I do want to say, hey, I personally think there's a better option out there that you don't even have to wait to see if it will become a thing or not. You can actually take advantage of this right now. And I want to show you kind of how to do it, why I think this is a better option than what we might be talking about with this 50-year note. And so, disclaimer, I am not a mortgage lender. I don't write mortgages. That's not my expertise. My expertise is selling new construction real estate. My name is Zach. If we haven't met before, my team and I, we sell new construction real estate here in DFW. And so I want to show you, and one of the big things that is big for me is just understanding the math of what we're getting into when we make these purchases. And so what I want to do is I want to show you the math on a mortgage on a 50-year note. Now, disclaimer, I don't think anybody's holding a note for 50 years. To be honest, I don't think anybody's keeping a note for 30 years. And so from the standpoint of affordability and getting people into houses, maybe in the short term, this is helpful, but I do think there is a better way around this. And I want to show you the numbers and kind of give you an opportunity to make this make sense. And to me, if I'm honest, the better way around this is using the builder's money to do some of these rate buy downs that we are seeing advertised every single day with builders. They are not a scam. They are legitimate. And I want to show you how much money this could actually save you in the long run and show you where we're seeing some of the best deals with a ton of different builders right now to potentially make this more affordable. So what I want to do is I'm going to try and share my screen so you guys can see what I see. And I'm going to show you the calculator and just kind of how this all shakes out, and then show you the alternate side of this of what it could be if you don't wait on what could or couldn't be a 50-year mortgage and go the alternate route instead. So let's take a look at the screen. We have the calculator pulled up right here. So really quick, let's just do this on a basic level home. So on a $400,000 home, let's assume we're doing an FHA loan at 3.5% down. We're going to get the estimate back over here. So down payment, easy math, $14,000, 3.5%. Interest rate, let's call it 6.15. That's about where the market is at the time of me recording this video. You're going to take a traditional 30-year, what we know to be traditional 30-year note, buy a broker fee on a new construction deal here in DFW. Oftentimes, 99% of the time, that is paid by the builder, which means you get to have representation without having to come out of pocket for that, which is really, really great. So we're going to put that on the seller side. No seller concessions. We're going to say on average, we're going to give this about a $1,900 a year homeowners insurance. That's about what we're seeing in a lot of places. And taxes, we'll leave it at that 2.4% because that is average for a lot of new construction neighborhoods. You might find some a little bit higher. You might find some slightly lower, but on average, 2.4 is a good middle ground. So let's take a look at what this is going to come up with payment wise. So this puts us in our about $3,500 a month payment. So $23.9277 on average on the principal and interest, your taxes, your insurance, and your mortgage insurance. So right around $3,500. Your cash to close, $14,000 for sure for your down payment. And then we've got our prepaids and our fixed. But to be honest, we are trying to get this, as much of this covered right here from the builders. And yes, we are getting deals done right now with both interest rates and potentially money toward closing costs. We just have to know where to look and how to find it. But what I want to call your attention to outside of this is the details on this loan. So all of your costs, so your total loan amount at 6.15, this is your total cost of like the borrowing of the money. So this is an important number to keep as well. Your 30-year total if you kept this home for 30 years. Now we know most people do not keep their homes 30 years. Most people on average 5, 7, 10, or even if you are keeping it long-term, you're probably refinancing. So interest paid on this house, $468, $634 for a total payment. If you lived this all the way out and you went through your whole amortization schedule here, would cost you $861,389. And I want you to remember that number. I think we should probably maybe post it on the screen. So $861,389. And I want to show you how this compares against what we're talking about with a 50-year note versus in terms of what it's going to cost us in interest and how much it's actually going to save us in our payment. So right now, Payment estimate 3528. Realistically, principal and interest 2392.77. So keep those numbers in mind. Let's come back over to our calculator on this side right here. We'll take our 30 and let's see if it'll let me even do 50. That is the only thing we're going to change. See where that gets us. So that dropped our payment from about 35 to 32. So about almost 300, a little bit less. So principal and interest 21.11.15 now. So none of these parts changed because we didn't adjust anything there. So we saved a little bit here on the principal and interest. So this might be a little bit more affordable on the monthly side. But here's the crazy part. I'm betting, and I haven't done this live yet. I'm just kind of assuming based on math. I'm betting the interest is almost, I bet it's double. If you stretch it out over another 20 years on this 50-year note, I'm betting it's almost double. Let's see if I'm right. 50-year total. It is more. It's more than double. So your principal was $392. Your interest, if you carried that for the full 50 years, $873 for a total payment of $1.26668. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I knew it was going to be crazy, but I didn't think it would be that bad. So this is where I'm kind of like, I think there are better ways to get to an affordability thing to fix this for more people in a more effective way. And this is part of the reason why I love new construction, is because so many of the builders right now are incentivizing rates in the 5.99 or 5.49 or 4.99, or they're doing buy downs, and we're seeing it. And so I want to show you kind of where some of the places we're seeing it, and then let's just look at some of the math that we're seeing play out with some of our builders. So, well, if you've been around my channel at all before, if you know, one of my favorite builders I always like to look at is Highland, because I think they build one of the best quality homes you can find here in DFW. If you haven't been around my channel before, welcome. Highland is probably one of my go-tos. So a fixed 4.99 fixed rate right here. You don't even have to go looking for it. It's on the website front page. Fixed 4.99 interest rate with a total APR of 5.034. I think they're doing that both on conventional and FHA. We just have, and potentially VA. We just have to look at it and see. Now, guys, the thing with these, when you see builders advertise these, most of the time this is going to be on your inventory only homes. This is not, hey, we want to take 6 months to build. This is, we want to close on a home in the next 60 days. That's an important thing. And you will often see these come and go, depending on how they're spending money, depending on what they have available. So this kind of incentive can at times move very, very quickly, and it can at times feel like you're getting pressured to make a decision. That is not always the case. It's just more of they want to make sure they get the money in and use it for you before somebody else comes and takes it. So if you're wanting to stay up to date on all of these things, best way to do that is just to get in contact with us. We would love to represent you in a transaction. Make sure you stay on top of what's coming and going and how to get our best deal. So we're seeing this advertised straight away on the website. Let's go take a look. Let's see if we can find we were looking at a $400,000 home. Let's see if I can find one close to 400 just to kind of use as our example piece. Let's check. We'll check over here in Roy City and just say, hey, what do we have that's close to the 400 mark? So, look at that. We have a 399, 533, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,200 square feet. We'll use that number right there at 399. Realistically, there's probably a little bit more room to move on that, because it's, depending on when you're seeing this video, could be the end of the year and you could be finding a really good deal. So let's go back and do our estimate, and let's do a FHA loan. We'll call it 399. 1, 2, 3, 399, 999. They're advertising a 4.99 rate. We are back down to our 30-year mortgage. We're not going to change anything else because I do think that neighborhood tax rate is right about 2.4%. And let's just take a look and see. And we're still coming in cheaper than doing that same deal at a 50-year note. So this is why we love doing new construction so much, right? Because 2105 on that fixed 4.99 rate, right? So over the life of the loan, you're going to pay just under $364 in interest. So total payment of $758. And that's the cool thing too, is like even watching how we moved. Basically, we picked a house pretty close to the same price But seeing how, we saved almost $100,000 in interest just by moving our interest rate down from 4.99 from 6 to 4.99. So this is why the builders are doing this. But the real reason why they're doing it is to move houses and to make this number right here as stomachable as possible for any scenario. Let's go look at another neighborhood with Highland, because they're doing it across all of their price points, right? So we're saying a 4.99 rate. Let's say you're one of our buyers that you're like, you know what, Zach, we're kind of moving up. We're in that not quite really expensive home, but we're still, kind of expensive. Let's say we're in the 5 to 4, 5, 6, 700 range, and you're like, we want to go up. We want to go up north. Cool. Let's go take a look and let's just see what we can find. Let's say we go to, let's pick a neighborhood. I actually really like, I like Sandbrook. I like all of these neighborhoods, really cool. I'm just gonna go, let's actually pick this neighborhood right, they don't have any inventory. Let's actually go right here, because this is Prosper ISD and it's not, I believe it doesn't have a mud or a pit. So let's just look at, let's see if we've got a home right there. 750. So let's do our same scenario at 750, and we'll just say home price is 749,990. You're gonna do, you're gonna do a 5% down payment because you're gonna do a conventional loan, right? Let's just play with it at 7.49 at a 5% down payment. Interest rate at 6.1 is where the market is. A 30-year note. We're gonna put that back where that goes, like that. Insurance and taxes. Compute. Okay. So at the 6% rate, you have a principal and interest of $43.40. Taxes, insurance. That PMI is coming out a little high. I don't think that's right. I think that's a little. But again, we're just looking at estimates just to kind of get us in the ballpark. If we did the same house, so 43.7 on the principal and interest. If you said, hey, you know what, we're going to do that on that 50-year note. Let's just go do that and see what it does. 38. So saving a couple $100, but the interest on this, it's got to be over $1 million. Holy cow! 1.5 million in interest. Total cost of the house 2.297. If you paid it out over 50 years on a 50-year note, I do think a lot of people that are going to do that, like I said earlier, are probably looking more at hey, let's get the note and then potentially refi in 3, 5, 7 years. Let's go back and let's do this back at our 30-year, and then let's do our 4.99 rate with the builder and see where we get to on that one, because I think that's still saves us more money there. But if you're looking at about a 750, you're looking at a payment all in, unless you're putting more down, north of $5,000. I just want to be realistic with you on that. So we have Highland showing us this 4.99. We've got, let's go another builder. We've got another builder showing us a 4.75, or check it out, so can I just say this for a second? It says up to $100,000 in already reduced pricing. So what this doesn't mean that you're going to walk into their neighborhoods and see the house that's listed for 500 and they're going to knock it down to 400. That's not what that means. It means they've already started taking price reductions in their neighborhoods and they're showing that. So this part can kind of be a little confusing, just putting that out there. So for interest rate as low as 4.75, and then your choice of a closing cost paid or a 2.75 rate on a 2-1 buy down. Now, so this is an interesting decision to make right here. It's like, hey, do you want all of your closing costs paid, or do you want us to do a rate buy down? So when you see builders advertising this, what this means is, hey, year one, they're going to buy your rate down to 2.75. So payments 1 to 12, 2.75. And then year two, you're going to be at 3.75. So payments 13 to, what is that, 24. And then year three, so at payment 25, you come back and you come to your lock, and you are locked right here at 4.75 for the life of your loan. So let's take a look and see if they got anything that we want to take a look at. We've already looked kind of out east. Let's go. We were playing up north. Y'all want to stay up north? Let's stay up north. Let's go to Meadow Run in Melissa. Melissa's a really cool area that is showing a lot of growth. So let's just take Let's take this house right here because we've kind of been playing in this price range, 529,980. We'll come back over. So home price 529,980. That's weird. 5.529980. And we're going to put a 5% down payment. We're going to get down to that 4.75. Check our taxes for the neighborhood. Can we do that? Yeah, I got the taxes on the website. Let's see. I'll show them. Tax rate, no mud, no PID, and a 1.94% tax rate. We love to see it. We love it. Love it, love it, love it. I want 1.94. Okay. And then we'll hit compute and see what we're looking at here. So principal and interest, 2626 roughly. Taxes still 800 because we're at that higher purchase price, and then your insurance and your PMI because you're not putting 20% down. But look at this. We could say, hey, we could take this money right here and say, hey, we're going to cover our closing costs. So you're really just coming in with your down payment. Now I want to show you. So like, can I do the buy down calculator, right? So like, let's do this one. So buy down. Now we're going to say it's a list price of 525, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a 2-1 buy down. We're doing a 10% down payment. We're buying from 6.25, and then we're going to hit that compute button. So check that out. So payments, again, 4.25, 5.25, and then it comes back and it locks at our 6.25. But what we're really seeing is builders saying, hey, we're going to do like, so that one, in case of the pace setter one, 4.75, they're going to do the lock there, 2-1 buy down. So 2.75, 3.75. So what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we're taking our money and we're putting it in a savings account, and then we're just going to pull money from that every year, every month to make the difference in your payment. So you're going to pay part of the payment. Technically, the escrow account's going to pay the other part of the payment. And so people always ask me, like, Zach, should we take the 2-1 buy down, or you know, in this case where they're offering 2-1 buy down or closing cost? I personally would take the closing cost. Why? Because it's kind of like the argument of somebody saying, hey, I'm going to give you, so what do we see this basically cost? We're going to call this 10 grand. Somebody says to you, I'm going to give you 10 grand. Would you rather A, have your 10 grand all up front, or B, would you rather, I would rather have it all up front. I would rather have it all up front and lower my cash to close and have a little bit higher down payment, but keep more of my cash on the front end. Other people would say, you know what? We are cash strapped right now. We want to, we want to spread this out, and that's fine too. But if you're asking my opinion, I would take the fixed rate, and I would take the long-term, like buy all my closing costs now. I don't necessarily want to do the 2-1 on top of that. So we got that one. We got our friends over at Beezer. Look at that. A 1.99 year 1, 2.99 year 2, 3.99 year 3, and a 4.99 fixed on year 4 plus on select move-in homes with their buy down. So they're taking the same scenario and they're just turning it into a 3-2-1 buy down and basically locking at 4.99. I believe those are some of the better options right now in terms of monthly savings, like long-term monthly savings, than trying to figure out and wait on this 50-year note, right? This is one of the reasons why amongst many, one of the reasons why we personally love selling a lot of new construction is because we can get these kind of deals put together and pull money out of the builder's pockets in order to pay you guys, and help put money in your pocket to help get you into a house. This kind of negotiation, because like if we look at this, so can I show you the cost? So on this, let's do a permanent buy down, right? So I love doing the math, and so maybe you nerd out on this stuff, like me. So let's do a 10% down payment. We're starting at 6.125. We're gonna buy 8 points. Actually, we're gonna buy 7 points. 6 points. 5 points. Okay, 5 points. So simple math, and I've talked about this before, and we've got tons of videos talking you through how to do this. Simple math. 1 point is 1/4%. And every point cost 1% of the loan amount. So that's really simple. So in this case scenario, at 525, we're putting a 10% down payment. Let's actually just lower it back down. Let's just say, hey, we're putting 5% down. We're buying 5 discount points. The builder's spending almost $25,000 to get you down to your to your lower rate. So this takes your monthly principal and interest from $46.56 to $42.65 for a monthly savings to you of $392. But again, remember, this is a permanent buy down. So this $392 monthly savings is actually savings year over year, right? So if we take $392 and we say, hey, $392 times, you're gonna make 12 mortgage payments in a year, you're gonna save $4,700 a year. Let's assume that you have this house for, on average, 5 years. You're gonna have saved $23,000 over the life of the loan. This costs them $24,000 to do that. Or as you can see, the break-even point there at 5 years, 3 months. So if you were paying for the buy down, this is what we would calculate on how long it would take us to break even. They're paying for the buy down, which means you have the, you're going to let them do that, right? Like let them spend the money and get you into something more affordable to help with that payment. And of course, as everything goes, the more you spend, the more that number affects it. But please feel like this is such a better option. And looking at $25,000 to $35,000 or more on the resale market, this is why we're seeing so many stalemates and gridlock on the resale market, is because people just don't have the margins to give that kind of buy down incentive to get things sold. So if you are looking at buying, I promise you one of the best places you could look right now is new construction, and specifically new construction inventory. I think there's great opportunity if you wanted to build and go long term, but if you're looking for the best deal possible, which I know so many of you are, inventory homes that we can be done and closed in 45 to 60 days or less is where we are seeing so many of our clients win and take advantage. So this, I hope, gives you some perspective. I hope gives you some hope to say, hey, you know what? It may be crazy out there, but there are ways and there are opportunities for us to find that we can win and get into the house that we will love and that we can help, raise and grow our family in. And it'd be an incredible honor to be a part of that with you. If you have questions, please, contact information is always at the bottom. Reach out or schedule a Zoom call if you want to walk through numbers or scenarios or figure out what might fit best for you and your family. We're here to help, and we're looking forward to a lot of opportunities coming in the next year. Can't wait to help you.